Hey guys, it's Mia here and welcome back once again to another bookish video. Now, I am just about done with the Twilight series, having just finished Eclipse. Now I know it takes me a while to read these books, but like I said, you guys know I'm a slow reader. Now, I will say right now that I still think so far New Moon is my favorite of the book series because Eclipse had a lot of back and forth, and it kind of reminded me a lot about a tug of war, but instead of the tug of war being a rope, it was Bella. Like, Jacob saying he was better for Bella, and Edward being like, I'm not gonna leave if she doesn't want me to leave. And throughout most of the book, that is 625 pages long, it ended up just being this big tug of war, with this whole side plot, basically, of yet again another vampire being out to attack Bella because Edward killed her mate. And if you don't know what I mean, Victoria from the first book came back to get revenge for her mate that was killed in the first book, James. Now, Victoria is too much of a chicken to try and face Edward alone, so she goes ahead and makes this newborn army. And if you don't know what newborns are, they are freshly changed or close to a year old vampire. And they're supposedly stronger because their own human blood lingers in their tissue, making them more powerful, more unpredictable, more unstable. So Victoria goes around through the book making all of these newborn vampires, training them, and creating new ones when the old ones are killed. So that is basically Victoria's role in the book, is a war commander and vengeance seeker. And I do kind of like the plot with the newborns, but I really don't feel like she explores it enough. I mean, I get that these are mainly romance stories, and the action is just thrown in there for the climax, but elaborate more on the story. Don't just have Bella sit there and repeat herself a million times saying, oh, it's Victoria coming after me. It's Victoria coming after me. It's Victoria coming after me. I kid you not, she probably said that like 5 times. Like the characters didn't already know that. Like, you only have to say it once for them to get it. They got it. But I do like that whole scenario of her just building this army because she is so dead set on killing Bella for what Edward did to James, even though what happened in the first book was James's fault. He fell into his own trap, so to speak. But Victoria doesn't give a damn about that. She's like, you killed my mate, now I'm gonna kill yours in order to make you feel how I feel. When supposedly James was just using her to begin with because she was a bratty, unpredictable, up for games vampire. At least that's what Edward said. Now, like I said, most of this book focuses on the back and forth between Edward and Jacob, saying, I want her, no, I want her, no, I want her. But with all this setup of the vampire war and them coming to kill Bella, and all this murder that happens along the way because A, they're killing each other, B, they gotta kill to survive, and C, people are getting changed and thus can no longer be around their family because they're bloodthirsty vampires. So they don't explore that much at all. I mean, the most we hear about all these disappearances and murders and killings is through news broadcasts because we can't switch from Bella's perspective. We see through her eyes and that is it. So we know as much as she knows. And at some points, that gets very frustrating because it feels like we miss most of the story that way. And at no point was this more prevalent than the final battle, where both the Cullens and the newborn army were set and ready to fight. What did we see? We saw Edward and Bella sitting in the tent the whole time while Edward relayed the information to her due to his mind-reading abilities. Like, you had all this setup of this big war from coven to coven, two of the biggest covens ever seen except for the Volturi, which are the vampire royalty, and we don't even see most of the exciting battle. Like, you couldn't have just switched perspectives long enough for us to see the entire battle? I mean, I know I don't like switches in perspective, but I would have liked to actually see the battle firsthand. Not be relayed it like we're having a walkie-talkie sitting there like, hey, what's going on? I like to see the action. And you know, with as much build-up as they were putting on this war, I thought we were actually gonna see it. And when we finally did get to the action, which was on page... I know that when it came up, we had less than 100 pages left in the book. And I kid you not, the battle from the relay to Edward fighting Victoria was 10 pages. This is a 526 page book. No, a 626 page book. And we got 10 pages of the battle, and most of that was just telling Bella about it? Really? Why waste all that setup to have the final climax basically walkie-talkied to the main character? I don't get it. And when we finally got to finally see the action firsthand, it was so boring. There's a gnat in my face, sorry. It was so boring. Like, I didn't even care at that point because I was so angry about missing the actual fighting going on. I was like, oh, cool, great. Edward's fighting Victoria. You know he's gonna win, spoiler alert, because there's another book. If Bella and Edward were gonna die here, there would not be another book. So you left the most predictable part of the battle in and took out all the stuff that actually mattered. Yes, we know Edward's gonna win. There's another book. No duh. Like, I thought the climax in the first book was so much better done than in this book. She actually took the time to tell us the battle in Twilight because Bella was witnessing it firsthand, not sitting there having it walkie-talkie to her. She was in the battle. But she's too fragile to be in this battle. And let me just say something positive. At least Bella finally admitted what a shitty, horrible person she is. But then she went right around and kept being that horrible person without even blinking an eye. I'm like, good for you. You finally told people you are a crappy person. You finally admitted it to yourself. And then not even a chapter later, she's back to being the same shitty person. I'm like, I thought we were getting somewhere. I thought. But no, you backtracked. Why did you backtrack? Oh, I can't stand her. And this whole tug of war between Edward and Jacob got really tiresome. Like, so tiresome. I mean, first of all, Edward is a controlling douchebag. Like, she can't see her best friend just because he's a werewolf. And he acts like he is her dad. Granted, he's plenty old enough to be her dad, which just makes it all the weirder. But we've already talked about how he is far too old for her, and it's just gross, so I'm not going to go into it again. But not only do you have Charlie, who is actually her dad, and who has a right to say, I don't want you around them, but I want you to go see Jake. We have Edward trying to tell Bella, I don't want you to have anything to do with Jake because of a rivalry that doesn't involve you. Like, no. If I want to see my friend, vampire or not, you're not going to stop me. You're not my parent. You don't have any authority over me. We're supposed to be partners, not a dictatorship. And then flipping it the other way to what I don't like about Jake. This boy does not understand boundaries. Like, there's a scene that I just wanted to smack Jake. Granted, Bella did that for me, but he sits there and acts like he knows her mind better than she does. And this boy does not take no for an answer and cannot take a hint. That is not okay. Whether it's just a kiss or not, that is still considered assault. She did not want him to kiss her, but he did it anyway. And then she tried to get away, and he confused that with wanting more of a more sexual kiss. No. No. Read the signs and read the room. She did not want you to touch her. And it's just, at this point, I'm like, I don't want her to get with either of you. Because you got controlling Edward over here, who is using his vampire strength to his advantage over her because she is human. And then Jacob over here, who not only kissed her against her will and mistook pushing him away for her wanting more, but he also literally threatened to kill himself because she did not want anything to do with him. Like, what the heck? That is not okay. You do not tell someone you're going to go kill themselves because you can't be with them. That is sick, and that is guilt-trippy as hell. What are they supposed to say? No, go kill yourself? And then what happens if you do go kill yourself? They look like the guilty party. That is not okay. And he's just another level of controlling and manipulative for throwing that over her head. Because, of course, she cares enough about him to say, no, don't do that. I'll show it to you right now how much I care. He knew exactly what he was doing in that moment. And using your life to manipulate somebody else's is not okay. Did I enjoy this story? Yes, but I thought it was way too long. There was way too much back and forth with Edward and Jacob. It got really annoying. I'm like, this is basically just a dick measuring contest in a book. That's literally all it was. And in reading the book, neither option seemed good at all for Bella because of reasons I literally just explained. And I don't know why we all enjoyed this series when we were younger, but I liked it, yes, but I definitely see what's wrong with it, and it should not be for younger audiences. It should not be YA, because this is not a good relationship to push to vulnerable kids. So that's my thoughts on the book's Eclipse. Like I said, so far, New Moon is still my favorite of the series, and I'm going to start Breaking Dawn either after I finish the movie, and then I think after Breaking Dawn, the book, and the 2 Breaking Dawn movies, I'm going to be done with Twilight, even though I still have The Second Short Life of Bree Tanner and Life and Death, the Twilight Rewrite. I'm done with Twilight after Breaking Dawn. I might eventually, a long time down the line, read the next 2, but right now, I'm getting to the point where I'm getting burnt out on the Twilight series, and I'm getting done with these characters. So I'm glad that this is going to be the last book, and I only have 2 more movies left. But that being said, I am so far enjoying this bookish movie marathon, so I'm gonna keep going because I want to finish this bookish movie marathon off because I am enjoying it. Just hopefully I'll do that with characters I enjoy more in the future. So I'm going to get to this, and then I will see you in the next video with this review. So, hope to see you next time. Bye, guys.